Joining me now is Michael Labach. He's the head of corporate development for Eagle Plains Resources. Thank you for coming by.
Hey, well, thanks for having us. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. So Eagle Plains have been around for a long time. You've been there 20 years. It's been a company since the early 90s. Project generator, more than 35 projects. And you say there's 5 facets to the model, to the approach. Could you sort of run those down for us?
Well, certainly, first and foremost, we're a mineral explorer. Multiple projects in the western jurisdiction of Western Canada. And then secondly, not to dive into it too terribly much, but secondly, we use the project generator model to try to divest the risk of the mineral exploration industry. It's super financially intense, and we take our we risk within a certain level of that industry, which would be research and acquisition, and developing these projects into creating a case where we can have another company come and spend their money to help us do the heavy lifting on it.
Right.
Yeah, and if you have multiple projects, well, then there's multiple opportunities for discovery, but of course it's a very capital intense industry, so we try to divest that.
Right.
So mineral explorer, project generator. When a discovery is made, we like to allow for that value to be given to the shareholders rather than into the company's treasury. So we've discovered over the years that a opportunity to do that is to take that project that graduated from the more grassroots level into something where a discovery is involved, that we can spin that out into a new co, reward our shareholders with a new share, and then expose that company for acquisition. And that's worked out pretty well in the past. We've had 4 spin-outs now. Our latest is Eagle Royalties, but our 3 previous spin-outs have been acquired by larger companies, and generally there's quite a significant premium associated with that. And our shareholders benefited from that.
Right.
Rather than that value going into our treasury, the shareholders were either bought out with cash or with shares of another company that generally are much more liquid than ours.
And the other 2 facets?
So the fourth facet rather is, we've been around for 30 years. We're the 9th oldest stock on the venture exchange. We've got 115 million shares out, and we've never rolled back. So how do you do that? 2 words: revenue generation. And a significant generative area for us is our geological component to the company. So we have a wholly owned subsidiary called Terralogic Exploration that provides geological consulting for other companies, for our partners, within our project generator model, and of course for ourselves. So they've been able to do quite a bit of traction lately. I'd say over the last, the Terralogic was starting about 12, 15 years ago. And it takes a lot of work and to get traction, and this doesn't happen overnight. And we've really been seeing the benefit of this over the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years. They really got traction. And last year, they brought home about $2 million profit to the Eagle Plains treasurer through their work. And that largely was to do working with, again, both third parties or even our partners as well.
And lastly here, Michael, it's been said that your company does a lot of work during the downturns. You see opportunities, and we've had a downturn in the last, call it 2-3 years. Are you continuing to see those kinds of opportunities in this market?
Well, again, being around for 30 years, we've seen a lot of upturns and downturns, and you've got to be able to be flexible and work within those and make hay no matter what's going on. So, of course, in the upturns as well, there's a lot of money being spent in the industry. We see a lot of partners coming in looking for projects to work on. We see Terralogic working to facilitate those exploration programs and all of the benefits that go along with an upswing in the markets. But of course, during the downturns, it's just as hard to work, it's just as busy, but you're basically making acquisitions through your research of opportunities out there, generally in Western Canada, and you're preparing yourself for the next upturn. So, there's opportunity in crisis, as they like to say, and certainly, during the downturns, we're busy preparing for the next upturn. Very cyclical industry. There's quite a few of them now.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, thanks for coming by.
well, you're very welcome.
Telling us more. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, good stuff.
Okay, bye now.
Michael Labach, Head of Corporate Development for Eagle Plains Resources.